Welcome to Strategic Darshan. In the 90s, India took a strategically important step. We have an Air Force military base and a medical base in Tajikistan, which has proved to be of great use in the recent rescue missions from Afghanistan. General Sinha, as per you, what is the strategic importance of this?
Ma'am, we are talking about some strategic, decision which was taken, 2 decades before. How that is, making India, a power to reckon with, a power which has given a military or muscles, which is proving to be right, and now it has just come into the light. First thing, was in 98, as we all know, that we have carried out the nuclear explosion. India has gone and acquired the nuclear capability. That was one decision during that time. And during that time only, it was the defense minister was George Fernandez, and his first time, because and credit goes to him, that he brought a strategic shift in the thinking, and he brought it out that China is the enemy number one, and Pakistan actually doesn't match conventionally, so Pakistan can be a number 2, but the whole emphasis, the capability and capacity building should be based on the China as in mind. And he also did talk about that time, 2.5 front war, but after that nothing much was happened. That time a very, very important strategic decision was taken to establish first time a air base outside from the soil of India, and in Tajikistan, India made a Gissar military aerodrome. It is also called Ani Air Base. There was also the time, a deployment of medical team in the area of Farkhora. It is on the border of Tajikistan and Afghanistan. That was there, which subsequently shifted to Kurgam Thepa, which is now 50-bedded hospital is there. Tajikistan is very important. Russia has got also a very important military base. China is also because of the Wakhan corridor. To understand this, let's go and quickly understand this on the map of that region. Now let's understand the GMA, Gissar Military Aerodrome, the first air base of India. This is the map of the region. This is this is Afghanistan in yellow. This is Tajikistan, this is Uzbekistan, and Wakhan corridor. This is Wakhan corridor, going from Afghanistan and joining with the Xinjiang province of China. Wakajir Pass, through Wakajir Pass, and it is also going to KK Pass. And this is China's ambition to make its the BRI project through this area. This is importance. The geostrategic location of the GMA and what it gives the capability. It was a decision taken probably 2 decades back, where GMA was established. It was taken over initially to administer the control of that your air base, which was extended that time. Think of it, extended to 2,300 meters. This was extended so that military aircraft, your fighters or your heavy transport aircraft can land. And it was done initially by the civil contractor, but it got a lot of hassles, and then the BRO and the Border Road Organization of Indian military was put into it, and then this complete air base was made. So that is about the GMA. So it has got a capability, and one point is very important to understand. The first base commander, it started in 201 and actually came in operation by 205. And the first base commander of this was that time air chief, previous air chief, Chief Dhanwa. He was the group captain and he became the base commander of this area. So that is also very important, and I would like to bring it out. Now, from when we look at it in this area, also there is a 201 that is called 201st Russian military base at Dusanbe. The Russians are also there in a huge number. Then is Farakhor. Farakhor is it is a military bedded hospital which was actually looked after by Indian doctors and 90s, which has been shifted to Kurang Thepa. This is shifted from the border to Kurang Thepa in this area. This leads to Panjshir area, the Kabul. From when we say from GMA, this it can very quickly we can reach into the Xinjiang area, Karakoram Pass from the western side, threatening this area. There is also you come down to the area of Gilgit-Baltistan. There are a number of airfield and which the Pakistan has got, which is also being used by China, and it can also come to the western theater of Pakistan. It threatens and it gives you a lot of opportunity in the Central Asian Republic area. So that is the importance of GMA. Having an understanding, what exactly on the map. Now I will just again, maybe in the cost of repetition, I will like to bring it out. See, when the medical base which was there at Farhor, which was manned by the Indian doctors, and a very important thing which has happened, especially in 2001, that has to be brought out. As I brought it out, that Panjshir, as you see, which is further south in Afghanistan, very close to Farhor medical camp, and that time Ahmad Shah Massoud, when the Taliban came and took over in 96 the complete Afghanistan, and they remained to 201 because everyone knows now that the Taliban was there for 5 years, and Ahmad Shah Massoud, who is now everyone knows, also it is coming in the news that he is in the line of Panjshir. He was the defense minister. So when the Taliban came, he took refuge in Panjshir, and he was carrying out Northern Alliance offensive from Panjshir. And Panjshir has never fallen. Even the Russians have tried to take on, which is already we have explained it, that there is a rope, there is a ray of hope, and which is now actually taken the wildfire in Afghanistan. It might change against Taliban. So that is a video which I have already given, and I have explained it, that importance. So here I just want to bring it out again, that the importance of Farhor, that medical team which was there at Farhor. When Ahmad Shah Massoud was killed, and just 2 days before the 9/11, when that is Twin Towers, which was hit by Al Qaeda. 2 days before, the Al Qaeda, in connivance with the these Talibans, sent in the garb of reporter a suicide bomber, and then actually he blew himself, and in bargain Ahmad Shah Massoud was also very badly wounded. He was taken to Farhor Air Base, where the Indian doctors were there, and they tried to save him, but he was so badly injured that he died. And just 2 days prior to 9/11, and this is what the Al Qaeda did it, and after that Taliban through Taliban. It was involved in for 9/11. After that, the Americans came. And the importance that time of GMA and the Farhar air base, which is shifted to Kurgam, slightly deeper inside, just south of Dushanbe. That importance is there. Now, I want to bring it now, as we all know that Panjshir, they're now both Amrullah Saleh and Ahmad Masood, the son of Ahmad Masood, they have taken. That is one part. So how this, it fits in this particular, our GMA fits in that. The second thing is, a decision was taken. Initially, it was just administrating that area and base, and again, on cost of reputation, the first base commander of this in 2005, because they have taken from 2001 to 2005, was the previous air chief Dhanwa. I believe he was the group commander. I think and there is this thing that he was the first base commander of this GMA. Now come down to this evacuation, how it is helping, and it's proving to be a master stroke and most smooth air Devi, that operation Devi Shakti, which is going on of evacuation, and how India is able to do it where others are having a jerks. India has been smoothly doing, and it is fine courtesy of GMA, a decision taken 20 years back. Our Globemaster strategic lift aircraft, which goes to GMA, waits over there at Kabul. In spite of that, our diplomats our embassy is out, but local, the people who are coordinating it, they, get everyone. Our aircraft comes from GMA when it gets everything confirmed, because the Kabul has been controlled by the Americans. They come, and it takes about 29 minutes or so, on half an hour, and very quickly they take it. They don't have to wait on the runway, and take it back to GMA in Tajikistan, and from there the other evacuation takes place back home in India. So it is playing a very important role, and there is no jerk. It is very smooth, and this decision, strategic decision, is paying the results. As on today, for the airlift, which has got again a very huge responsibility to get everyone out, and that is the way Gissar military aerodrome, strategic decisions, is playing in the favor of India.